What's up, everyone? Welcome to episode number 13 of the Fanboys Anonymous Group Meeting Podcast. I'm your host, the owner of fanboysanonymous.com, Tony Mango, and with me on the panel tonight we have Caroline Oliveira.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah, I got a note about that this time. And Chris Dace. Got that one right, too.
Woohoo! I'm here.
We may
Is
have some
Shaniqua
other
here?
people. Shaniqua,
No.
she's not here
Hell
anymore.
no.
We might have some other fanboys and fangirls joining us later on. Not too sure about that, but we'll see. We'll invite anybody who's able to join in to the discussion. And if not, then we'll be the panel, and we'll be talking about a whole bunch of different stuff. But in general, the meeting's been called to order, and what we're going to talk about this evening is going to be a comparison and just general talk about the upcoming Phase 3 plans for Marvel Cinematic Universe and the announced DC film lineup.
Ooh.
Yeah, this is going to get weird because we're going to bounce around. Originally, when we were doing the group meetings, I tried to keep everything separated and, we do this topic and then we move on to this or whatever. This is going to bounce around crazily. Even though this is as planned as they can possibly get it, we are not going to plan it out the same way. So we're going to bounce between comparisons of them. We're going to talk about the individual films, and this is going to be total chaos, which I'm pretty sure is what's going on in Marvel and DC right now anyway. So at least we're living up to that. But we will continue doing this as long as we run out of, until we run out of things that we need to talk about. But there's a lot to talk about, so this might go on for a while. First things first. I think we need to run down just what movies are coming out. So here's the list of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Phase 3. Now, technically, the first movie that we're going to mention here is part of Phase 2, the very end of Phase 2, but it all works in. The next movie that we've got coming is Avengers Age of Ultron, which looks like it's fucking awesome. Do you guys agree?
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
So that's a great start for Marvel. Then we kind of nosedive a little bit because the first movie of Phase 3 is Ant-Man, something that has been plagued with so many different problems. And we're going to run down that kind of stuff too, because originally when, what was the name of the director? Edgar Wright. He had gotten kicked out of the project or left or whatever. I was going to do this big righting the wrongs pun that I couldn't resist. But, I figured we'd wait until we got more to talk about for that, because it was all speculation at that time or whatever. But we'll backtrack to Ant-Man. After that, we're going to get Captain America Civil War. Then we're going to get Doctor Strange. And then in 2017, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, Thor Ragnarok, and Black Panther. That's the first that they're going to have 3 movies instead of 2. That's going to be followed by Avengers Infinity War Part 1, Captain Marvel, Inhumans, and then eventually in 2019, Avengers Infinity War Part 2. And then they haven't announced anything else beyond that, so you can kind of assume that that's going to be the end of at least the main chunk of the storyline that they're telling and that they're planning out. If you want to know more information about that, go to fanboysanonymous.com. I wrote a whole big, long theory about that. I'm not going to delve too much into it. So, in comparison, Marvel has everything up until 2019, or the very beginning of 2019 at the very least planned. DC has announced we're going to get Batman vs. Superman, or Batman v Superman. They can't add that S. Yeah. I guess the production costs are too much.
Fucking hipsters.
They're like, look, we've got Batman versus Superman, Dawn of Justice, but we need that colon in there, so we need to get rid of the S to make up for it. That's coming in 2016. Also, in 2016, we're going to get Suicide Squad. 2017, we're going to get Wonder Woman and Justice League Part 1. Flash and Aquaman are in 2018. 2019 is Shazam, which isn't supposed to be a part of this, but they announced it anyway. And Justice League Part 2. Then in 2020, we're getting Cyborg and Green Lantern. So they have more films as far as the time goes, but not as many films within each year. So in general, if you got to look at this, these two lists, which one are you more excited about overall? And not one particular movie, but one film slate looks like it's going to be the best. Caroline?
just because I feel like it might be a little bit more successful in some of the movies, I would say Marvel, even though I tend to prefer DC overall. But oh man, I don't know. Like I'm not excited for DC movies right now. I mean, really, like Aquaman. Nah, no.
What about you, Days? Is there any one that stands out as the better one of the group, or is it kind of like a dead heat?
See, the thing that Marvel's obviously got it because to them they've already been doing this for years. They've impressed us with Guardians of the Galaxy and they got their shit together. DC really feels like they went through their catalog and said, "What comics are we currently writing so we could push to the public?" The only saving grace to DC cinematic universe is Jeff Johns is kind of the creative officer behind it. And he had a fantastic run with the Green Lantern, which unfortunately is at the end of the list. So it'll be interesting to see what happens when Jeff Johns gets his fingers in there. But at the same time, even though he's a saving grace, look at the Green Lantern with Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
Jeff Johns had his fingers in that too, and people didn't really care for it. I didn't think it was bad, but a lot of diehard fans hated it.
Well, let's actually talk about that too, because even though Green Lantern is the timeline-wise the last movie that's listed out here, it ends up bringing up a really good point when it comes to DC versus Marvel. Green Lantern had some plans for building towards a future spin-off or sequels or whatever. They introduced Amanda Waller in there, and they thought that they were going to end up having her show up and kind of be like this through line, sort of like the Nick Fury of their universe, which she is in the comics and stuff, so that's not, crazy. But Green Lantern's getting a weird set of treatment here because of that movie not being as good, which I'll defend some parts of this movie. I don't think that the movie is bad because of necessarily the writing, and I really like the director. I think this is a production studio error. And the main problem with the movie is not Ryan Reynolds as Green Lantern or Blake Lively or anything like that. You could tell that they rushed a lot of things and they chopped it up, and it's studio people meddling and getting crazy on that. But because of that failure, Green Lantern's apparently not going to show up in Justice League.
Oh.
And I don't understand this at all, because the audience nowadays, they're fine with reboots, and it's not a concept that they don't grasp. People, when Amazing Spider-Man came out, they didn't go, wait a minute, I thought that Venom was what... They're like, no, it's a brand new one, okay. And you could do a brand new Green Lantern in Justice League, and people aren't going to be confused about the Hal Jordan that showed up in the Ryan Reynolds one. Or you can even, and I don't like this idea, but you can even use Kyle Rayner, Jon Stewart, or Guy Gardner, or Simon Baz, or Boz, or I don't know how to pronounce it. You know how to pronounce it?
No.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, new guy. But they're going to end up waiting until 2020 to have a Green Lantern movie. And if he doesn't show up in Justice League, then at the very least, he's got to show up in Justice League Part 2 in 2019. But damn, that's a long time to wait just because the Green Lantern movie sucked.
It's such a shame because the Green Lantern universe has so much behind it. And to me, it's one of their gems. From that run from when Jeff revived Hal Jordan all the way up to the wars and Brightest Day, Darkest Day, all that stuff. And then Marvel's failed attempt at the Nova Corps. But they're in the Guardians of the Galaxy. Come on. Green Lantern can be its own franchise, and they're just not willing to take that jump. I'd definitely pour my money into it. Shut up and take it.
And Green Lantern's one of those series that really binds a lot of DC Comics together. And they could do that in the movies too. If we get Brainiac in Justice League, or we get Darkseid, or we get the White Martians or something like that, Green Lantern's a perfect character to be like, yeah, I came across some of those bastards in this planet, or, he can be off planet and not operating on Earth and show up in Justice League, and they don't need to explain anything. This is something that really confuses the hell out of me here. So if Jeff Johns is really kind of their Joss Whedon, or I guess maybe they're Kevin Feige. He's more than Joss Whedon.
Yeah, I think he's the. What they made up some kind of role. He's like chief creative officer or something over at DC right now.
Chief Puppet Master.
Pretty much. Like, oh, you did really good with everything you've touched. Just do everything.
I still say they should bring Bruce Timm into some of this.
It wouldn't hurt. I mean, I really feel like they have no direction over there. Just by saying, yeah, we're going to do a Wonder Woman movie, you know, maybe a Suicide Squad movie, The Flash, we got that guy. It's just kind of like they're pulling out names and stuff, like I said, right out of their catalog. Like, who has the most issues? They're going to the big screen.
Or even the ones that they're not sure are a part of the universe. They said Shazam is not going to be involved in Justice League. And there's all these rumors about a Sandman movie, and that's not going to have any connection. And then there's Justice League Dark, which they've been rumoring for years, which is supposed to have Constantine, which they have a TV show of. And now they're even saying that it might be a spin-off of the TV show. But they've already said the TV shows like Arrow and Flash are not a part of it. So it's like, fuck, make up your mind, God damn it. Like,
I think that what it comes down to, it was what I think Chris said, is that Marvel knows what it's been working for them. I feel like DC's still trying to figure it out. It feels like they're in the dark and they're just shooting everywhere, hoping something hits. Like, you know, something as big as Batman for them, which I guess still maybe one, like in the the movie screen. I mean, it's still, I guess, one of their biggest hits, but I mean, if you remember, it's just weird. Like, they had the Wonder Woman TV series, which only lasted, I think, one episode or not even. It was horrible. That did so poorly. So to me, it's just, yeah, I agree. It's really weird that just because the Green Lantern didn't do a good job in the movie theaters, they're not going to have him till 2020. I don't know. I think they're just like, they have no idea what to do, and they're just like trying to see what works and what doesn't work. And yeah, which sucks for us, but not a lot of people know what's going on, I feel like.
I kind of like, when it comes to DC, it's really a ballsy move on their part. They're assuming that Batman v Superman's going to be a hit.
Right.
Whereas Marvel just kind of tested the water with Iron Man, a not so well-known character at the time. And once that did phenomenal, like, all right, we're out the gates, let's get this stuff running. They're just like, they're saying, here's the Justice League in Batman vs Superman in minor roles. Enjoy it, and then we'll give you 10 more films after this.
well, you know what kind of seems weird to me? This is something that a lot of people are split about. I am a big fan of building up to things and starting at the ground level and then working your way higher and higher until you get to the payoff. And this is for a lot of things. I mean, for the wrestling fans out there, I always think somebody should come in, they should win like a tag title, then a mid-card title, then be in the upper mid-card, and then win the main event. Instead of like you're there for a couple months and then you're the world champion. I like the idea that Marvel started off with Iron Man, and at the end of it was, there's a bigger universe out there, but we're going to build up Hulk, we're going to build up Thor, we're going to go back and talk about Captain America, which is also going to fill in some gaps, and then we'll do Avengers. Instead of the DC thing where they're kind of just like, we've got Superman, Batman has just been doing this for a while, and yeah, you can kind of cheat with Batman. Everybody knows the fucking Batman story, so you don't need to do an origin again. You got Gotham on TV, you've got, you know, the Christopher Nolan movies where everybody saw them. We just went through all that stuff. You can cheat with him. But can you really cheat with Wonder Woman, Flash, Aquaman, like all these other characters? Yeah. I got a big thing that I got to complain about Cyborg, but I'm going to wait for that. That's going to be a big fucking complaint. But they're thinking that they're going to do Batman v Superman, then Suicide Squad, Wonder Woman, and then Justice League. Suicide Squad's going to be like separate. It's going to be a spin-off of Batman v Superman with Lex Luthor, and now the rumor is Harley Quinn and Joker and Deadshot and like 10 other fucking characters.
So they're just like, yeah.
They're like, these guys are cool. They're
yeah, just like
anti-heroes.
add them, all of them,
Right.
to one project.
And the casting doesn't even seem that promising for Suicide Squad. The blonde from Wolf of Wall Street really felt that she was in Wolf of Wall Street just to be eye candy.
But
Did
that's
not.
not,
But she was great. I can't.
that's what she does, though. I mean, come on, guys.
I feel
mean, really.
With Harley Quinn, you need a lot of depth there
I
because
agree, 100%.
it's yes, she's one of the like a sex icon for DC, but at the same time, there's a lot of troubled things going on in that brain of hers that
Yeah.
makes her such a unique character. And then they just kind of went, "Well, you're the hottest thing on the market right now. You're gonna be a clown."
Right, and I'm sure that she's gonna be dressed really appropriately for that role.
It's gonna be awesome.
It's just so ridiculous. Why don't they do that with the Joker? Why can't we have like a guy in a banana hammock just like walking around with Joker paint on his face? Like, it's just unfair.
Joker?
Yes.
Did
Why
you
not,
see
like-
Jared
Do you
Leto
want me to
in?
say? Do you want me to say Penguin?
Yeah, I'd like to see
Like
him walk
Danny
down the street.
DeVito? I would. Yes.
Oh, hell yeah!
Just with an
Yeah.
umbrella covering his.
Oh man. And
One
just
little
a top
fish
hat.
tie. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got those
I-
little flipper finger things. You never know.
For whatever reason, I'm mixing Danny DeVito from Batman Returns and Frank from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I just see him like
Oh.
wielding a gun and having no pants on whatsoever.
I think that's really healthy.
Right? There you go, DC. Put that on the big screen. I'll go watch
Yeah,
it.
DC, come on.
That's
I
the
will.
that's the
I
next
will buy
season of
t-shirts
Gotham.
Of it. I hope
Danny
so.
DeVito replaces what's his face.
Replaces the best character on the show. He's just gonna like, look at me, I got no pants on. And people are like, yeah, we don't know what the fuck we're doing with Gotham. We can sit with
Fighting
that
off
now.
fish heads, spitting them at people. The man. Totally pay to see that.
But the
would.
way Suicide Squad's shaping up to be, it looks like what they're doing is Lex is going to be the main villain of Batman v Superman. And I'm still holding on to my theory that Batman v Superman exists only as setup. It's going to be, here's our reintroduction of Batman, and then the character is going to be presented as, you guys know Batman, right? Cool, here's Batman. They're not going to put any real like time and effort into it. Superman's not going to really be doing a whole lot. He's going to be brooding in sepia tone next to his 45-year-old lover, Amy Adams. Hate that
Should
casting.
be rebuilding the damn city he tore down.
Well, that's going to be Lex and Batman, I think. I think that's going to be the connection between them. Is like Bruce is going to be looking at that as Superman destroyed it. So is Lex. Bruce, of course, at some point realizes, nah, and then joins Superman against Lex or whatever. But Lex is going to be a part of Suicide Squad, so something has to happen with the government and hopefully Amanda Waller. And it turns into like Lex being a part of the government. Maybe he's like a backup plan. Maybe it's something with Checkmate or OMAC, Brother Eye. I don't know. And I have no idea how the fuck Joker comes into this, but apparently that's the case. But I'm thinking Batman v Superman is there to set up Wonder Woman, Batman, Superman, Checkmate, Argus, whatever they're going to call Suicide Squad's Task Force X kind of thing. And at the same time, apparently we're going to get these cameos from other people. I'm hoping, and this is the only way I could see this working, I'm really hoping that what they do is they set up that Batman has been in true comic book form, and he is just spying on everybody with the Brother Eye satellite, and he knows Clark's identity. He's already figured out what's going on with this new Flash guy. He's already figured out Green Lantern Corps out there. Aquaman's in the fucking ocean. He's got all the files on everybody, and that's our introduction to them. Because when they can't just do a Flash movie and just have him already be Flash and then go back in time and do fucking flashbacks again, because you did flashbacks in Batman Begins, flashbacks all throughout Man of Steel. You're gonna get flashbacks in Wonder Woman because that movie's apparently taking place in like World War I or something.
Yeah. I think World War II.
Yeah, one of those two. Yeah, and
Okay,
then
Cap.
yeah, and then flashbacks for Flash and flashbacks for Aquaman and flashbacks for Green Lantern and flashbacks for, like, you can't fucking do that.
I think it's crap that they have two awesome, especially Arrow, these awesome series on TV already building the universe. Use them. Don't be idiots. Everybody loves Arrow. Why would you not bring him into the fold?
Probably because they added too many Batman villains into there.
Yeah, but I forgot most of them already anyway. And they were minor ones.
They got Ra's al Ghul in this season.
I'm going to stick to they were minor ones. They knew that season was... They knew what they were doing before the season aired. They could have quickly threw Liam Neeson in there. He even willingly was going to come and play.
The the connection isn't with the Christopher Nolan movies, so they couldn't do that.
Yeah, but Liam Neeson's God, so he can do whatever he wants.
But when it comes to the DC stuff, is that something you guys are thinking is going to be a big problem? Because I can't see it being a good thing of them rushing to Justice League and then doing flashbacks.
No. Yeah, I mean, I feel like they're rushing for everything they're doing, and they're just like, they're digging a hole in the way they're gonna end up with another Green Lantern. You know, they're just gonna rush. They're gonna cast people that look hot in the screen and not necessarily are there to really embody these characters and do justice to them. And they're just gonna try to create something that resembles some sort of connection between the movies. But I don't think it's gonna happen. I think it's just gonna be like a letdown. And maybe we'll get a few movies that are enjoyable out of it, but I don't think that as a whole it's going to make a lot of sense.
I saw what you did there. They're not going to do Justice.
Oh, I didn't even realize that. See? That's genius. That's how my brain works.
There's going to be so many articles when Justice League comes out, or Dawn of Justice even, that'll be like, Batman v Superman does not do justice. To... I guarantee I'm writing one of those up. So we kind of are in this mentality, if you guys haven't figured it out yet, that it's like, nah, DC kind of sucks. Which, by the way, I fucking love some of these characters. Batman's my favorite comic book character of all time.
Yay!
I've grown so fond of the Superman character over the years after thinking that he was boring as hell. Wonder Woman, I'm still not too fond of. Aquaman, I still think is stupid. Captain Marvel, meh. Cyborg, I'm going to fucking rant about that later. Green Lantern, very cool. Flash is an amazing character as a side supporting character in the Justice League. I don't like his series himself, but...
I feel like I'm jerking off Jeff Johns, but when he got a hold of Aquaman, it got so much better. Like, he's more badass. And kind of a dick.
Dick Aquaman, which sounds really horrible to say, is so much better than Super Friends Aquaman. You get the Arthur Curry smile, chip on the shoulder kind of sandy blonde hair dude. Not a big fan, but you get the Orin with the messed up hand, and he's just like, fuck you people, I'm gonna kill anybody who comes my way. A lot better than the guy who talks to fish.
Basically, just take a page out of Namer's book from Marvel.
Yeah,
and everything will be okay.
Like, you should look at, like, I don't even watch Game of Thrones, but everybody loves it, so do, like, some weird combination of Namor and Game of Thrones and Thor, and those are your references for Aquaman and Wonder Woman, as far as I'm concerned.
They should have casted Sean Bean. He would have been phenomenal. He may have died, but he would have been phenomenal.
They could have been a perfect reason to kill Aquaman in the movie.
Like, well, we were going to let him live, but we casted Sean Bean, so naturally he has to die.
Plus, he's got to be the villain in this, too.
Yeah.
At the very least, he's got to be a hero that you really hate because he's an ass. Which is perfect for Aquaman.
Exactly. Sean Bean.
Instead, they cast Roman Reigns.
Oh, God.
But in comparison, we're running down DC a whole lot, and I'll get to my Cyborg rant, too. But Marvel, though, this looks awesome, doesn't it?
I'm skeptical about the Inhumans. I don't know too much about them, but they seem kind of randomly placed.
Oh, there's 4 movies out of this that I am not really that into, and that still makes me think that it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy was that way.
Yeah, I thought Guardians of the Galaxy was going to be terrible. I went into this expecting it to be the first major failure, because I still think Incredible Hulk and Iron Man 2 and Iron Man 3 and Dark World are not the caliber as the other movies. But I was like, Guardians of the Galaxy is going to suck. And about 5 minutes in the movie, when he starts playing "Come and Get Your Love," I'm just like, shit, I like this. I have to eat my words, but I'm excited about Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I'm really excited about Captain America: Civil War. Thor Ragnarok has a chance to be really awesome. Infinity War, of course, that's awesome. What is it about Inhumans that's particularly making you kind of shifty?
The main Inhuman is Black Bolt, so we're going to stare at a character that doesn't talk.
Well, they're gonna have all the other ones too.
It's true. They just compared to the entire. I feel like they're gonna try to make the Inhumans the Fantastic Four that they can't have.
I kind of think they're gonna go more for the mutants.
It's weird, like, and they're kind of smack dab in the middle. The two movies in the middle of the Infinity Wars have me wondering, like, what are they gonna do? Is it gonna be like a flashback type movie, or are they gonna be in the middle of shit? And this is just their way of, we're gonna make Infinity Wars 4 freaking movies.
That would be kind of awesome, though. 4 goddamn movies about Thanos. I think this is kind of getting into my theory post. I think leading up to that, we're gonna see a lot of the Civil War stuff, and that Black Panther ties in Civil War, Age of Ultron, whatever. But I think Infinity War Part 1 is going to be not as much Thanos. I think it's going to end with him. And he's going to be coming from another part of the galaxy. And whatever his actions are going to be, they're going to play out partially in Captain Marvel and Inhumans, but not with him. I think it's going to be more like at the end of Infinity War Part 1, Thanos fucks everything up. And then because both Captain Marvel and Inhumans are in the same year, we'll be able to have like a short time frame. Like maybe Infinity War Part 1 happens, let's say in the universe, I mean, in like May. Maybe Captain Marvel and Inhumans are also happening in May, and Infinity War Part 2 picks up in June. Like it'll be rushed kind of. But since they're different parts of the galaxy and it's kind of all happening at the same time, sort of like how when we went back with Captain America, what was it, the first Avenger, we had to go back in time, but we don't need to really do a flashback because at the end it picks up where we've left off. I think it's going to be kind of like that. But Inhumans is going to be kind of weird because we've got Black Bolt, like you said. I don't know too much about Black Bolt or the Inhumans. Can he talk like through telepathic means?
I think he has a telepath at his side at all times, because the moment he opens his mouth, everything's fucked. Which, at that case, why don't we just have Black Bolt go talk to Thanos? Have like a nice little conversation over on Mars and just handle it, Black Bolt.
Thanos is like, hey, is that you, Black Bolt? And he goes, sup, and then it's the end of the movie.
I would pay $13.50 to go see that in 3D.
Oh my god.
Especially if the rumors are true and it's Keanu Reeves playing Black Bolt.
I'm out. I lied. I'm not paying $13.50 for that.
You wouldn't pay $13.50 for Keanu Reeves to be Black Bolt throughout an entire movie, and then he just goes, whoa, and that's when everything shatters.
Yeah, you're right. I would.
Maybe the other Inhumans are everybody from Bill and Ted, and you can cross over like that. After all, Thanos is going after Lady Death, right? Death was a part of that movie.
She was.
There you go, connection.
We need CGI George Carlin in it as well.
Well, Stan Lee's going to play George Carlin.
Oh, perfect.
That'll be his cameo. Right now, somebody's writing up an article. There's a scoop that Stan... Worst Marvel movie ever. Does not do justice. Wait, that's the wrong article. What do you think about these movies, Caroline? Is this the Marvel thing looking a whole lot better than DC? A lot of more things that are kind of looking like a thumbs up, or are you kind of worried about them too?
I mean, I think so. I am not really big on Marvel in general, and I'm not familiar with like the Inhumans. I was just reading about it because like, what the hell is that? I have no idea. But I mean, Captain America was good, so I would definitely watch the Civil War. I would definitely watch Thor. I would definitely watch Guardians of the Galaxy 2. So I think that to me that looks more like something I would definitely go to the theater and pay my good money to watch and not be upset about it later. But I'm not really. I mean, I didn't grow up with Marvel, so to me, it's kind of like I'm seeing it as somebody who read a few of the comics, but not all of them. So to me, it just looks more like something I would watch, being a layman on that aspect, and that might be a good thing. I mean, I don't think that. I mean, obviously, a lot of people read them, but I also know there's people like me who don't really know what they're about. So, and still go to the movies and see it if they look good in trailers, and I think they can do that for sure.
So, from your perspective, what do you think about Ant-Man? Because Ant-Man's got people going crazy. There's the hardcore Ant-Man fans that are mad that it's not Hank Pym and Wasp. Then there's the people like me who think that Ant-Man is a dumb fucking character, but it should be Hank Pym because at the very least you should stick with the original guy. Kind of like how I want Hal Jordan to be the Green Lantern in these movies, even though Jon Stewart's cool and Kyle Rayner is cool and new guy, don't know much about him. And
Yeah,
fuck
new
Guy
guy.
Gardner because that haircut's so terrible he should never be in a movie.
Penis head.
But with Ant-Man, I kind of look at that as they missed an opportunity here to make Ant-Man a part of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. instead of his own movie, because he doesn't seem like he's a factor in this at all.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I agree. I just think it's a really stupid character. I'm sorry to all the fans there, but there's nothing about someone called Ant-Man that makes me want to go and watch a movie about him. I mean, I guess I saw the costume they're designing, and it looks cool, but you wanna watch a superhero called Ant-Man? Like, really? That's almost like Cockroach Man. Like, to me, there's like nothing really appealing about him.
Cockroach Man would have a great power, though. He can't die, even in nuclear fallout.
That would be more like a villain, I feel like.
Probably the arch enemy of Ant-Man. Like, son of a bitch, this guy just does not stop.
Why don't you just die?
Where did you come from, and why are you hanging out in my fridge? What about you, Dace? Is Ant-Man something that's really a downturn? Because to me, you look at Avengers Age of Ultron, I like the Ultron character, but when they first said that Ant-Man was not going to be the creator of it, I was like, I don't know. Now I really love the idea that it's Tony Stark, because I like Stark so much better. But Age of Ultron looks like it's an amazing movie, and then we're going to go to Ant-Man? Like, the fuck? Like,
I got several beefs with this movie. First of all, Hank Pym being like 80 years old. He's always worked closely with Tony Stark, and the fact that Tony and Hank have always had that back and forth rivalry, it's made it more interesting. The second thing is Ultron's head's shaped after a bug, which was created by Ant-Man. So why not have him in some kind of minor role like you did with Black Widow or Hawkeye in Phase 1? Have him in like Iron Man 3 just working at Stark Tower or something. And he's working on an Ultron type model with Stark. I like the fact that Paul Rudd is playing Scott Lang. I even think he would have been a great Hank Pym. I don't know why they decided to make him old. Yeah. It's going to be the first flop.
I think they only made him old because Edgar Wright wanted him to.
Well, Edgar Wright's a dick, and that's why he got fired.
Yeah, I am fully in the conspiracy mode. I think Edgar Wright had a plan for years before they planned out a lot of this series, that he wanted to do a 60s Ant-Man movie with Hank Pym being in the fucking 60s and whatever like that, and he stuck to his guns about it, and they planned out as much as they could around it, and then they were like, fuck, now we just have to make this movie. I think they fucked up with this, and I wouldn't be surprised at all if the reason why we don't see Ant-Man 2 on this schedule is because they know that it's going to suck.
He's a supporting character. He's always been a supporting character, especially in the comics. He does a lot to move the universe along, and he's responsible for a lot of the coolest events in Marvel writing. But he's not a strong enough character to run his own franchise. And I think they dropped the ball with not just having him as a Hawkeye, Black Widow caliber character.
Even worse, Scott Lang is the worst. Well, Eric O'Grady probably even worse. You can't build much with Hank Pym. What the hell can you build with Scott Lang?
Yeah, you're going to shove so much history in this movie because he's got to come up with the Pym particles. He's got to go through all that. I think it's too much information for someone who's a casual viewer rather than like we know what Pym particles are and all that stuff and the back of Hank Pym because we read the comics and things like that. Now you're jumping into the second iteration of Ant-Man and even hinting at Yellow Jacket. Like, whew, you guys are really like, yeah, Hank Pym's a popular guy. Everybody knows Hank Pym. It's Hank. Hey, Hank.
Good old Hank. And then somebody calls him Henry in the movie, and everybody's like, who the fuck's Henry?
Mind blown. Same person. What?
So, in my mind, this is going from Avengers Age of Ultron to we got a little bit of downtime until Captain America Civil War.
I'm hoping they prove us wrong.
Oddly enough, it's doing the same thing again, because I don't give a shit about Doctor Strange. I've never liked magic. I'm super glad that they're not doing magic, that they're making it all about quantum physics and stuff. But I want to just skip that and go right to Guardians of the Galaxy 2, Thor Ragnarok, and Black Panther. And I don't even really like Black Panther that much, but Black Panther seems so much more interesting than Doctor Strange and Ant-Man to me.
Oh. Are they really getting Johnny Depp to play Doctor Strange, or has that been like a rumor that didn't pan out at all?
I thought they signed Cumberbatch.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
I really hope they didn't.
I think they did.
Cumberbatch should be a villain in something. He should be fucking Brainiac or something in DC.
Yeah.
There's so many other people.
Serious issue with people that look like aliens. You just feel like they all should be villains just because they look like aliens.
Yes. All right, look, let's put it this way. Chris Evans is a good-looking guy. Robert Downey Jr., good-looking guy. Chris Hemsworth. Even I am kind of like amazed at his muscles and stuff. Benedict Cumberbatch? Really?
He's Sherlock.
Yeah.
He looks like he should be one of the aliens in Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, you just make him the purple, and he's one of the aliens already.
I think it's because he makes uteruses glow, so this is probably why.
Yeah, I was just going to say, like, the girls love him.
I don't get that at all. That is the male equivalent of confusion to me as all the people that think that Cate Blanchett is beautiful.
Well, I don't know what to say. He's not my type. I prefer Danny DeVito as Penguin in a banana hammock. That's like my fantasy right now. This used to happen.
I think that he is really good at playing villains too, though.
Khan?
Yeah. He's a good actor, so yeah. I mean, and plus villains are way more interesting than heroes. Sorry, but it's true.
Yeah, for the most part. So I would totally be fine with him being... actually, a lot of these different characters. I mean, he's clearly not better suited for Black Adam other than The Rock, but...
I thought you were going to say Black Panther. I'm like, yeah, he could totally run with Wakanda.
What if they did that? Like, who's the guy playing him now? I can't think of his name.
New guy.
Chadwick Boseman. They get like Chadwick Boseman to play Black Panther. He puts on the suit, and then it's fucking Benedict Cumberbatch's voice. It's like a reverse Darth Vader kind of a scenario. But Doctor Strange is blah to me. I never liked the character, so that's kind of a waste. Guardians of the Galaxy 2, woo, that'd be cool. Thor Ragnarok, awesome. Hopefully they'll kill off a lot of the characters that I don't like, because you can kill off Jane, and you can kill off Darcy, and Selvig, and the other dude, and...
Just wipe out that entire, franchise.
Kill them all, just to have the Asgardians left, because all the Earth people are terrible. Selvig should have died in Avengers. I'm staying to that point. And Darcy should have never been a part of the series.
You didn't like him running around naked in the second Thor?
No, I mean, if he would have had a banana hammock and played the Penguin, it would be a different story.
He had gadgets, and he wanted it, like, he lost his shoe at one point, right? Something like that? I don't know.
See, there you go, though. Thor Dark World. Who's playing the villain? Christopher Eccleston. He looks like a villain. That's where Cumberbatch deserves his spot.
An alien villain.
Yeah, an alien villain who has a badass voice.
They play Ragnarok.
We're talking about the whole thing with Black Panther and Cumberbatch doing the voice and stuff. But that brings up a good point here about one of the main topics that a lot of people are talking about now that these movies have been announced. The different ethnicities that are being represented and how they're really expanding. Both DC and Marvel are not placating to the different markets. They're actually just doing what they should be doing because they've got all these characters that are, how many generic white guys can you have when you've got, Captain Marvel is going to be in the Avengers lineup. Best Captain Marvel, Ms. Marvel.
Yes.
I don't give a shit about the other one. So people are going nuts about, like, finally there's going to be a solo woman film.
I think she's going to end up running the Avengers after 2019.
Maybe.
Because she does in the comic series, and I really think that's why she's in between, and they'll gear her up to take it over.
They're talking about having her be, like, a really, really powerful, most powerful person out of the whole bunch kind of a person, so.
Yeah, I really think she'll be taking over for Stark, because Stark relinquishes that duty to her in the comics at one point.
They got that. They've got Black Panther over at DC. We've got they're kind of switching up Aquaman a little bit here. What is his name? Jason Momoa. What is he, like Native American or something?
I wanted to say he was Samoan, but that's probably racist to me.
Whatever he is, that he's obviously, you look at him, he does not look like the typical Aquaman from the comics, which is perfectly fine because, like I said before, you get that sandy blonde hair, dimple smile jackass, and I don't like it. You got Wonder Woman's going to be there before Captain Marvel, so they're going to actually jump the gun on that one. You're going to have Cyborg. I'll get into that rant in a minute.
I can't wait for this.
But what do you guys think about this? Is this something that is a positive that they're doing, that you just happen to be doing because it makes sense? Or is this something where they're doing it because they want to tap into those markets and they're kind of sacrificing the quality or the story parameters or whatever just to get this stuff out? Because that does happen, and it sounds very racist. You're a white guy, so why are you saying this kind of a thing to me? But there's a lot of people that complain when characters are changed to a different race or a different gender, or you get a focus on a certain one. Like now we've got Captain America is Falcon, and a lot of people complained, well, why is there a black Captain America? To me, it was, why is Falcon Captain America?
Yeah, why not Bucky?
Yeah, why not Bucky? Or why not the, if you wanted specifically to have a black Captain America, why not the other dude who was Patriot or something? Have him come back. He could do it. You have USA Agent, make him black or something. I like black Nick Fury a hell of a lot better than white Nick Fury.
I like Sam Jackson too.
Yes.
Like I said earlier, Captain Marvel, you better go with Carol Danvers, because I don't want the another fucking just the dude there, because Carol Danvers is a better character. Like, what do you guys think about this? Is this something where this is kind of, they're doing it for the hell of it, or they're doing it because it makes sense, or any other opinions you got? Caroline?
Well, I think that for the film producer standpoint, I feel like they are doing it in a way so that it looks more like diversified and inclusive to everybody. I mean, I don't know. I feel like if the character is one way in the comics and you have fans that obviously, yes, you are trying to please the fans, you're also trying to get new fans. I just don't think it's fair if you change a character that much. And just saying, I'm Latina, so, and we don't have a lot of Latina characters around there, which is fine. I would rather them to stick with the way they are. Like, I would be a little upset if my Penguin became like a Mexican dude. Like, I wouldn't like that. You know what I mean? Like, I would be like, what the hell? I didn't like when Bane became a white dude. That upset me.
Yeah.
So I just feel like stick with, what people know. I get it that you're trying to get the, again, sexy, like hot people. to act in your movies, but I think you can try to at least make them look like the comic version of it. I got really upset when I saw that Bane was not Mexican. I got really upset. Don't get me started.
What is Ezra Miller? Is he part Hispanic?
I don't think so. I mean, he looks pretty white to me. He's really hot though.
so it doesn't matter.
I would see him doing everything. That's fine. He's really hot.
You're looking at Ezra Miller the same way that I'm looking at Margot Robbie. I'm like, okay, she could play one.
We understand each other. But that's the thing. Ezra Miller knows how to act, okay? You didn't see we need to talk about Kevin, but for those who did, he did a really, really good job.
He talked about Kevin so well in that movie.
Oh, man. Stop it!
Does he play Kevin?
He plays Kevin, yes.
So what was the background of this movie again? Give me a quick rundown, because you said something. It's about, like, he's like an evil, like, Damien kind of kid or something?
It's not like that. It's almost as if he was born a sociopath. And even when he was a newborn, like, his mom will hold him and he would cry, like he didn't want to be around her, while near his dad he would be the perfect angel. And as he grows up, he starts showing that he's very manipulative, and he's leaning towards more like a violent path, but the mom is the only one that sees all that. And it's not, I consider it to be a horror movie, but it's not like Damien, like he's the devil. This could be something real, somebody who is just born into your family that is just not, that looks human, but on the inside, it's not really human. And at the end of the movie and the book, he does something that is horrible and affects a lot of people. But the main person that suffers is his mom, because she has to deal with the aftermath of it all. So it's really, really cool, really interesting, but it's also one of those movies or books that you read and you might change your mind about having kids.
Totally what I think of when I think of Flash. Like, I see the inspiration there.
Aw, he's cute. He's hot.
Oh,
and he's a good actor. He's not like Margot, whatever her face is.
I thought you might lead with that point and then follow up with that he's hot.
I thought that she was actually pretty decent in Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh, come on. She's only there to be hot. Like, there's nothing in that movie that she, like, shows any type of...
Oh, she shows a lot in the movie. What are you talking about?
Well, she shows off her assets, not her talent. Let's put it like that.
I think
they're the same thing.
I'll put aside the one point about how hot she is, though. I did think that she was given a really great character and she did well with it. So I don't know other movies that she's been a part of. She is not the first person that I would have picked to be Harley Quinn, because that person already died. I already thought Brittany Murphy would have been perfect for it.
Oh, God, yeah. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, she was always the one that I thought would have been good for that. And another person that other people have put in fan casts that I thought could be a good person, Sarah Michelle Gellar. I could see her.
Do you think she'll be able to shake off the Buffy image to play Harley Quinn?
Yeah, I never watched Buffy, so it didn't matter to me.
All right. Well, okay.
But the thing with some of these movies, with the whole diversifying and all that, what do you think about that, Dace? Is this something that you're fond of, or are there any bumps along the road?
It has nothing to do with Marvel or Warner Brothers. I think Marvel's going to do whatever the hell they want after making a tree and a raccoon go to $7 billion or whatever it was. they got nothing stopping them. So anything, I'm just putting my faith in them, run with it. Warner Brothers too, I think they're doing fine. The only time ethnicity or like just changing the race of a character has bothered me is, and it's like I said, it wasn't Warner Brothers or Marvel, it's Fox, when they decided to make Johnny Storm African and Sue Storm, I believe, is white. They're brother and sister. Come on.
Oh, yeah. Well,
they're making one of them adopted.
Could happen, I guess.
Yeah, well, okay, but it didn't happen.
Yeah, well, that movie, That movie's
Stop
fucked.
taking your liberties and just give the rights back to Marvel. Bastards.
See, I'm all right with taking liberties, depending on the characters and depending on how they do it. I hate the idea that they were just like, well, we should have a black Spider-Man. Why? But why can't you do Lawrence Fishburne as Perry White? He was more than fine.
Mhm.
And, we already touted Sam Jackson is better than David Hasselhoff or Nick Fury.
I think they're on their own playing fields. One plays soccer, one plays baseball.
To me, though, the bothering point, and this is getting my Cyborg argument out there. What bothers me is when you take a character that happens to be of a different race and you bump them up in importance just because of it. Like, Falcon
Okay,
should
yeah.
not be Captain America. Falcon is Falcon. And Falcon is a stupid-ass character in the comics, but Falcon was awesome in Winter Soldier. I don't want to see Falcon as Captain America. I don't want to see Nick Fury's weird black son who becomes Nick Fury and basically replaces him in the 616 universe. Just turn him black. Why do you have to make another character and then replace him and whatever? Heimdall being black, perfectly fine in the movie. I don't give a shit. Idris Elba is totally cool with me for being Heimdall. But instead of, like, if they wanted, well, we need to have a black guy in Thor, I was perfectly fine with them changing Heimdall.
It's a shame, though, because he would have made a great Luke Cage.
He's too old for Luke Cage, in my mind.
He would
But
have been great.
if they were in that position, I'm glad that they went with that instead of trying to find a black character in Thor and then just make him replace Heimdall like that.
Mhm.
That's the kind of stuff that bothers me. That's what bothers me about the whole Falcon thing, which thankfully doesn't seem like it's going to be part of these movies. But that's what also bothers me about the Cyborg situation. Cyborg sucks. There's no fucking reason that Cyborg is as popular as he is right now. The only reason he is because they had the Teen Titans TV show. He is a black character, and they wanted to have a black guy on the Justice League. That is it. And, totally fine. I like the idea that you have a black guy on the Justice League or whatever. You could have a Hispanic guy. You could have a black woman. You could have an Asian guy. Whatever. But don't bump Cyborg up and try to make him come off as this awesome character when Cyborg sucks. And this would have been the same argument to me if he would have been white, Hispanic, Asian, Native American, Indian, doesn't matter. Cyborg's taking the place of Martian Manhunter.
Is he?
Martian Manhunter is not in these movies.
Oh, I just assumed that was something they weren't telling us.
Yeah, they have like no plans for Martian Manhunter.
I'm
And
out.
it's like Martian Manhunter is a character that doesn't really specifically have to have any kind of ethnicity. They've made him in his like different forms and stuff be a black guy in other things. It's John Jones. Do that again. Have a black guy play the character. It's not because, well, he's the Martian. Why does the black guy have to play the Martian? No. Have a black guy play Aquaman. I don't fucking care about that. Aquaman has a place on this team, but it would have been fine with a black Aquaman. But Cyborg is a stupid fucking character. And they have tried for like 7 years now or something to make Cyborg this important member of the Justice League. They've shoehorned him into everything possible. The new 52, he's like a main member of the Justice League. The movie Justice League Doom, he's one of the main members of the Justice League. Justice League War, one of the main members of the Justice League. And it's like, Jesus Christ. Now we're going to get a Cyborg spin-off movie? Does he have any villains?
A Trojan horse. And then he's screwed.
He catches the latest spyware. He's just like, shit, Malwarebytes isn't working. Well, there's the end of that movie.
Don't turn off Windows. It's installing updates. Just sit there.
So that's the thing that bothers me. You've got a Green Lantern movie coming after Cyborg. Why?
For shame.
Green Lantern has so many different villains, so many great characters, and you've got a black Green Lantern. And Green Lantern is not showing up in this movie. If you really desperately wanted to have a black character in Justice League, which to me, that doesn't matter. Just the same as I wouldn't care if there was a whole bunch of black guys in, like, if all the members of the Justice League were non-white. and that's what they've been all this time or whatever, I wouldn't want them to shoehorn in a white character just because I'm white. So have fucking Jon Stewart be Green Lantern, have Green Lantern in a Justice League movie. You get both things that you want to do, and it makes so much more sense to me.
These movies are not a Benetton commercial. Like, we don't need every single race represented. It's stupid. Like, people make it so much about race. Like, we're all red inside. That's fine. Like, just
Where's the
move
Chinese
on.
superhero? Huh? Ken
Yeah.
Jeong playing it?
Yeah, there's all these things about movies coming out that are trying to market towards the Chinese audience. That's why we had the big thing with China with Iron Man. That's why we had the stuff with Transformers, which was a god fucking awful movie. Age of
The
Extinction.
interview with James Franco and Seth Rogen?
That's
Totally
not
poked.
that's not China. That's North Korea.
I'm going to stop talking because it was going to get bad.
But yeah, you don't see them trying to force in a Chinese character for the hell of it or whatever. So that's just one of those things that bothers me because I just don't like Cyborg, and it seems like that's something that Marvel understands. Marvel didn't force Black Panther, or even when we come to the gender side of things, they didn't have a good plan for Carol Danvers, and he didn't set up the world where Carol Danvers could have lived in. So that's why Carol Danvers didn't show up. Now we've got Guardians of the Galaxy, we've got all these other movies where we can have a Carol Danvers movie, so they're doing it.
I'm stoked for that. I really am. She's one of my favorite characters.
Yeah, it's not something of a complaint about them not being what I am, because they're great characters, a lot of these, except for Cyborg. He's a dumb fucking character that should just be on the side, and if he is anything more than a dude who gets fucked up by something that happens in Batman v Superman, then I'll be really annoyed, because they got so much that they got to cram into that movie, and so much that they got to cram in the Justice League. And if Green Lantern isn't showing up, and Martian Manhunter isn't showing up, we're not getting Green Arrow, we're not getting, a lot of these characters. I would have rather them, if they needed to have a character like that, make Mr. Terrific one of the members of the Watchtower. There you go. Replace him or something. So I think. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, and that's the point. Like, if it's a character that it's good and complex, people are gonna relate to that character no matter what color they are.
Right.
You know? And I feel like sometimes movie executives, they seem to forget that because they just feel like they need to change that character so that it's more, that somehow people are going to be able to relate to it more. No, just these characters have been there for a long time, and people bought the comics and people cared about them. So they already work. Like, they don't need to be refashioned.
Yeah, I mean, these have been out for decades, and they've worked. Like, we got these Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Defenders, not movies, Netflix series coming out. Luke Cage is going to be awesome in that. And for the people that are concerned about diversifying and making sure you've got role models or whatever, Luke Cage is going to be an insanely more popular character after that comes out. And Black Panther is going to be the favorite character of so many people that are all races, because Black Panther is kind of a cool character. So
Yeah.
You build him up in Age of Ultron and Civil War, and then you do a Black Panther movie. You've got two movies that can build up the idea of Black Panther, and then he can go kick ass. Cyborg's going to be a background fucking character, and it's going to be like, all right, what do we do for a villain now? And they're going to have to bring another character from another series in there, and probably do Omak, just to try to justify doing that movie. And then they'll do Green Lantern.
Part of me really wants them to come up with like Cyborg 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the Resurrection, and so on, just to keep hearing this rant over and over again.
I'm going to have kids at this point later on in the future, and they're going to be like, Dad, can you take us to see the new Cyborg movie? And I'll be like, no! He's a dumb fucking character. Watch Black Panther if you want to. Watch any other character from DC or Marvel, because Cyborg is fucking dumb.
Watch Howard the Duck from 1980.
Yeah.
Trust me.
And they'll be like, Howard the Duck? Well, his origins go all the way back to the Guardians of the Galaxy. Didn't you think that movie was going to suck, Dad? And I'll be like, yeah.
Well played, Junior. Well played.
Go to your room. You can't talk back to your father like that.
No movies until they stop making Cyborg movies. You're done.
But Dad, we'll never see any movies. They just keep doing Cyborg. Ray Fisher is the best actor. I don't know anything about Ray Fisher. Do you guys know him?
No. I mean, the name kind of sounds familiar, though. But I don't think I know anything about him.
I don't think I've seen a single movie that he's been in. I actually kind of have to look that up, though, because now it'll be like, oh, he was in this and that and that. I don't know.
He's from New Jersey. There you go.
Hey, Ray.
Yeah.
See?
Let's see. The Good,
So's the guy who's
Bad,
playing
and
the
the
Flash.
Confused.
Shame you're not playing Mr. Terrific or Martian Manhunter.
Or Black Panther. You went to the wrong team, man.
Yeah. Anybody who's on the DC side went to the wrong team.
Yeah.
After they
Batfleck.
saw Man of Steel, they should have been like, this isn't a good start.
Yeah, they should be like, he killed somebody. He killed somebody.
Okay, so Ray Fisher, he's bigger on theater. He's done a lot of like Shakespeare. He played Muhammad Ali on an off-Broadway play. But film-wise, he's only been on a short movie in 2008, The Good, the Bad, and the Confused, and then Batman v Superman.
Wow, that's
Justice
it?
League Part 1 and Cyborg, at least according to the IMDb website.
That's kind of smart on Warner Brothers' part, because now he won't go anywhere else.
Now they can lock him into the
true.
contract of 20 different Cyborg movies.
Which, at the same time, is kind of like slavery. You now own him, and you're really
That's
ignoring the point you were trying to drive home.
horrible.
For shame, Warner Brothers. You just went out and bought a person from theater. Well played.
So we've exposed it here. They only introduced Cyborg because they got him as a slave. That's terrible.
They got him on
That
discount
is
at the
so-
market on Broadway.
Oh my god. We're gonna get something out of this right now.
Popularity. Like, hey, did you hear that asshole on that one show?
To be fair, though, we've been making fun of DC this whole time. So this isn't making fun of any particular race. This is making fun of DC's terrible plans because Marvel's kicking ass.
Who did Marvel cast at Black Panther?
Chadwick Boseman, who
Okay,
has been in like a whole bunch of different roles where everybody's like, this guy's awesome. Like he played shit, now I just fucking blanked out on his name. The singer, James Brown.
Oh, so they went out and actually got someone who's been in front of a camera before.
Yeah. And I think he played Jackie Robinson in some movie.
So they got a really good actor that was behind the camera. Okay.
Yeah, like they kind of followed their methodology of you either go for somebody who is like really unknown but shows a lot of promise, or you get somebody who's like, that's a damn good actor or whatever. From what I've heard, Chadwick Boseman's a great actor. I think I haven't seen anything that he's been in either. But I did actually want to see that James Brown movie. And I don't even like James Brown, but it seemed like it could have been good. But that's what they did with Chris Evans. He's a good actor. Robert Downey Jr., of course.
Well, I had skepticism when they casted Chris Evans because he was Johnny Storm before he became Captain America. It's like, I don't know, guys. And they proved me wrong. So that's why anything Marvel wants to do, if they want to shit in a bag on the theater, that's fine. I'll watch it. You guys are going to bring in $7 billion anyway. Who cares?
That's all Ant-Man is. It's just Michael Douglas shitting all over the place. He's
Shit
like,
everywhere.
you guys were complaining that we're shitting on Edgar Wright's career and we're shitting on Hank Pym character. Well, here you go.
Man, this Ray Fisher kid's young as well. He's as old as me. From New Jersey. I feel like I should have went to theater and maybe went blackface. I wouldn't have gotten Cyborg. I'm too late.
That's
I'm
good
just
that
saying.
he's young, because Cyborg's supposed to be young. So
Yeah.
at least they're doing that. He should be playing... Actually, they did film some kind of a football scene in Batman v Superman Dawn of this terrible film slate. But I don't know if that's supposed to have Ray Fisher involved in it or not, but Cyborg's character is a football player. So maybe Vic Stone pops up with that. I don't know. That would require planning, and I don't think that DC is doing that. So I wouldn't put it past them to do the same shit they did with Man of Steel, where they're like, we're on Krypton, and we've got this metallic reconstructing nanotech computer program not called Brainiac.
He went to Haddon Heights High School, so right down the road, and he's only been in like 4 plays. This is gonna be terrible.
You and I
You know
did
what
much
is
ado about
funny?
nothing in high school.
I just read that apparently Ray Fisher, he didn't even know that they were making like his own movie. He thought that he was just gonna be like a supporting character in another movie.
Should have been a damn extra. He has no experience whatsoever.
Well, don't say that. Theater
I'm-
actors are really good.
I was a theater
some
actor.
of them. Oh, some of
Once.
them.
You're talking to two theater actors.
Yeah, I know.
Well, there you go.
Oh my god, this is gonna be terrible, DC.
That right there shows that they aren't planning a lot of stuff. Though, if he's like, "Oh, they're doing a Cyborg movie, cool."
Is this like a spin-off of Terminator? Because I'm totally down for that.
He's like, "Wait, they're doing a Cyborg movie? My character sucks. What are they doing?" I thought it was just a background character. Have you seen Cyborg in the comics? He never has his own. Teen Titans sucks.
Just drive that point home.
Teen Titans Go sucks too, and I didn't even watch that.
His Wikipedia page can't even determine if he was born in 87 or 88. Or the town he was born in. It just says New Jersey.
Well, now this is turning into fuck Ray Fisher.
It is. I'm jealous. That's what it's coming down to. That he's going to be getting buco bucks from Warner Brothers to be a terrible, terrible character.
He's getting the backlash because of how bad Cyborg is of a character.
That's true. I mean, we don't know. He might be really brilliant. I mean, he's handsome.
They signed him up for like a death row. He is not going to get off of it.
I'm gonna be sitting there watching Batman v Superman. Cyborg's gonna come up on it'll be like Vic Stone catches the pass and there's a touchdown, and I'll be like, boo. Fuck you, Cyborg. I want Martian Manhunter. Black Panther's better. Marvel, Marvel, and everybody goes, shut the fuck up, dude.
It's gonna happen because I'm like 2 minutes away from yelling about that stupid Grumpy Cat movie. That I really feel like this is like the.
He's gonna be on Raw Monday. I'm so excited. It's a she. I'm excited for that. Excuse me.
I'm pissed that Grumpy Cat gets to be on WWE TV before I do. I've only been wrestling for 4 years. Bastards.
Well, but you don't have that cute little face.
I do have a cute little face. I don't look grumpy all the time.
Aw, I'm excited.
By the way, this is a total sidetrack for that, but it just made me think of it. I was reading an article about the Grumpy Cat thing. Apparently, Aubrey Plaza is voicing Grumpy Cat.
Yeah,
yeah.
The first comment that I saw after that was, "What the fuck? Aubrey Plaza should be doing other stuff. She should be Catwoman in the next Batman movie." And I was just like, nah. Like, I like Aubrey Plaza. She's great for, the real dark humor kind of stuff that she does. She's very attractive, whatever. Big fan of her fappening photos.
Oh, God.
But she is not Catwoman in my mind. And then about 2 days after that or whatever, Anne Hathaway was doing some interview and they were like, would you ever do Catwoman again if they wanted to do a spinoff? And she's like, of course, because I loved it and I love having fun with Chris Nolan and whatever. That'll never happen. But
I hate her too.
Oh, I love Anne Hathaway.
Oh,
really?
What's wrong with you?
She's been so good in every movie.
Not Interstellar.
Well, Interstellar was let down in a lot of ways.
Well, that I cannot.
She was really good in Les Mis, though. For her, she deserved that Best Supporting Actress thing. But a lot of people are talking about the new Batman movies, that there's not a solo Batman movie on the lineup here.
Right.
Which is kind of annoying to me because I really want to see. I think Ben Affleck's going to kick ass.
Batfleck.
You really think so?
Yeah, I think he's going to do great. I think he's going to even be better than Christian Bale. And
he's going to be a great Bruce Wayne.
See, I'm actually more worried about him being Bruce Wayne.
Really?
Yeah.
I could picture him being Bruce Wayne. He's just not physically intimidating to me.
You know what? Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, the way that he acted in this is a horrible thing to be like, yeah, that's what I want to go for Bruce Wayne, but the scene in Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back where he's playing Matt Damon, or no, he's not playing Matt Damon, he's playing Ben Affleck, and Matt Damon's playing Matt Damon, and they're filming Good Will Hunting 2, and he's, being like a real jerk, and did the lemon face, oh, lion face, and all that kind of stuff. If he was that douchebag as Bruce Wayne from when he's doing like the public persona kind of thing, I think that would be hilarious and so good for like the flippant playboy douchebag kind of guy. But I think he's gonna be a great Batman because he really, really loves the character. If you listen to the Fat Man on Batman podcast that Kevin Smith does, which is the only podcast that I really listen to,
That's hurtful.
outside of our network, listen to everything on Fanboys Anonymous.
Nice save.
Yeah. The only podcast outside of our stuff that I listen to, I should word it that way, are the Arkham Sessions and Fat Man on Batman, because Batman's awesome. But Kevin Smith is always talking about how Ben Affleck loves Batman. Like, he made a special room in his mansion that has like a fake entrance and all that, and he was like, because I wanted to make it a Batcave. Like, he loves the fucking character. Apparently, the only reason he did Daredevil, well, not the only reason, because he likes Daredevil too, but the main reason he did that was because at that point he figured they were never going to do another Batman movie again because of how much Batman and Robin sucked. So that was like the closest he could get to being Batman. So he really is like a protective fan of it. So I think that'll be good. I think Zack Snyder is going to fuck it up, if anything, because he fucked up Man of Steel. But if they do have a solo Batman movie, a lot of people are talking about we should have the Joker, which might be popping up in Suicide Squad with or without a banana hammock. I don't know.
Yay.
Some people are saying that they should go have another Catwoman thing, that they should do Court of Owls, that they should have Riddler, since we didn't get Riddler in Chris Nolan's movies for some reason. What would you guys like to see them do? Because
Oh my god, Scarecrow!
another Scarecrow?
But a really amazing one. Or just Danny DeVito in that penguin costume.
Batman versus Danny DeVito.
Right, he's not even playing a character.
That's all I want. That's all I need. And those like hand prosthetics. That's all I want to see. No biggie.
Well, there's a lot of, because you're really into the horror side of things. There's a lot of really freaky Batman villains that they haven't done yet. Professor Pig is
Yeah.
really, really creepy. Of course, they can't make a whole film about Flamingo, but
I guess Victor Zsasz would be cool too.
yeah, Victor Zsasz only
Phenomenal
popped up
guy.
for a minute in Batman Begins.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, in a weird way, I would love if they. I mean, but it would be weird because they could totally like fuck it up and just have it like just like the video games. Nothing against them. I own them. I love them. But I would love to see more of that like dark Arkham Asylum story, like how it came up and how like the whole thing. I don't want to ruin it for people that haven't like read the graphic novel about it, but I just feel like that would be so cool, and it could be so dark. So good.
What do you think, Dace? What should they do for the Batman films? Because you said before, and I don't know how you say this, but that you didn't like the Nolan trilogy.
It got worse as each one came out. Fuck Nolan. I am never seen another movie he touches again. I am
Really?
done with that man.
You didn't like Inception either?
I didn't watch it.
Oh, Inception's so good.
It's
That's his
just-
best movie.
Fuck Chris Nolan. Since Batfleck's supposed to be a little bit older, I assume it like he's basically the Frank Miller version.
I hope
Or-
not.
If they're going along that line where it's Batman versus Superman, I would like this to be like, you know how Marvel does the post-scene credits? Do a post-scene credit with the Joker snapping back into it. Like, oh, Batman's back. Now I'm back. Type thing. I always liked that Dark Knight Returns where the animated cartoon they did where Joker witnessed Batman return and then he went full-blown psycho again. I think that'd be neat. I've always been a fan of the Joker, and every time someone's put a spin on it, it's been interesting. So it'd be interesting to see how they would put a spin on Joker in the later years.
Do you think that the rumor of Jared Leto playing Joker is good?
I think it's if you're aging Batman, why are you going with him?
Right. I mean, unless you
He
put a lot of
just
makeup on him.
yeah, he seems young to me. You would need kind of the Jack Nicholson style Batman, or not Batman, but Joker.
He'd be a terrible Batman, Jack
would.
Nicholson.
He would, but you would just need that kind of age bracket for it. I don't know who could play it. Just get someone who's batshit crazy. Get that guy Rafi from the League. That'd be fantastic.
See, I'm
Either
hoping
tall
they
guy.
don't make Batman too old, because Affleck's not too old.
He's not, but I feel like they're trying to distinguish that he's older in this. Like, he's been around the block. He knows what's going on. Not necessarily linking him to the Nolan films, but like, yeah, he's got that history with Gotham.
I want him to be Batman in his prime, kind of, from like the comics, where there's like, I say go all into it. Just have in Batman v Superman, he's already gone through Dick as Robin, and Dick is already Nightwing. Jason Todd's already been killed, and he hasn't had Tim Drake show up yet, and he's depressed because Jason Todd died. Just go straight into that. That's what I would say.
What if they did the Jason Todd story arc?
See, I think if they're going to have him at the end of Batman v Superman kind of reinvigorated with, like, I can trust somebody again, I think you need to already have Jason Todd killed.
Good point. Because
Like-
if the Joker went and did that would break him.
Yeah, like, maybe at the beginning of it, he's not been Batman for, say, a year. Because in the meantime, Jason Todd died, and Nightwing went off to go do his own thing in Bloodhaven, and he's building the Brother Eye satellite and spying on everybody because he's got the OMAC stuff going on, whatever the fuck. That's a way to tie in Suicide Squad. And he just doesn't trust anybody else. And he's like, I can't have any partners. I don't want to do the Justice League thing because when people are around me, they die. Like Jason, he got his ass whooped, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then Superman's this... The one thing that we didn't get to see in Man of Steel, I really want to see in this. Superman is an inspiration. He's a son of hope. So he could be a symbol of hope for Batman, that things can get better and you can trust other people and whatever. And then if you're going to have Joker in Suicide Squad, I don't know if you really need to have a Joker again in the Batman films, at least not right now. I think go for something different. Go for Court of Owls. Make that a way to bring Tim Drake back into the thing, because Court of Owls have ties to Dick Grayson.
Mm-hmm.
Or do Riddler as, like, if you want to do flashback stuff with all these fucking movies to give the backstories or whatever, make a Riddler try to figure out who Batman is. And he's thinking about how he's Batman. I don't know.
It'd be neat to see them do Freeze. Not
Yeah.
Schwarzenegger Freeze, but Freeze.
Well, they are having Schwarzenegger show back up in the next Terminator film, which...
Chill.
But,
Sing. Dance. Chill.
that would be fucking hilarious if they were just like, guys, we haven't announced it because we didn't dot all the I's and cross all the T's, but we are going to have in 2017 a new Batman movie, and it's going to be Mr. Freeze, and everybody's like, oh, cool, and it's going to be Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he's just like, chill out. Like,
And they're gonna bring back the Pop-Tarts. Yay!
and Chris O'Donnell's going to play Nightwing.
And life is complete.
He's like, hey, aren't you older than Ben Affleck? What's going on? Well, we've talked a lot about DC for a little bit, but we still have some stuff to talk about for Marvel. We ran down Ant-Man because Ant-Man, fuck you. The big story that they're talking about when it comes to how Phase 3 is going to shape up, they said that how good of an indicator that Winter Soldier was for Phase 2, where it sort of like formed a lot of what's going on, that apparently is going to be Thor Ragnarok. And I don't know who the director is, if they figure that out or whatever. I hope it's not the guy who did the last one, because there was some problems with that one. But Thor is a character that I went into expecting the movie to suck, and I actually really liked the Thor movie. Well, a hell of a lot better than I thought I was going to, and especially because I hate half the characters. But Thor is one of my favorite ones that they've got going right now, and I'm really excited about Thor Ragnarok. What about you guys? Is that something that you're gonna spend your money on that you were mentioning earlier, Caroline, or is this another one that you're gonna kind of just wait, download? Download legally, I should say. Yes.
Download legally, obviously. I think that for now, and this is solely because I'm very picky when it comes to the movies I watch in theater. I only go to watch horror pretty much. But let's say that if my friends wanted to go and watch a superhero movie, I feel like I would go and I would watch it. I wouldn't go by myself and watch it and feel like I'm just like spending my own money to do it. But if there's other people willing to spend their money with me, I would go.
What about you, Dace? What do you think about Thor Ragnarok?
I'm definitely going to see it. I hope they tone back a bit on Loki. I love Loki. I love Tom Hiddleston. I think he's amazing at it.
Who does it?
I think they gave him way too much in the last one. That was he's funny. I enjoyed it, but it's going to get to a point where it's going to get old, and I hope they don't do too much with it. But I'm excited for it.
Oh, I'm kind of doing the opposite. I hope that Loki's all over the fucking place. Because Loki does have an influence on Ragnarok.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of like is the puppet master sort of a lot of that stuff. They need to have Surtur. They need to have a lot of other characters. But Loki gotta,
Maybe I phrased it wrong. Not so much less Loki, less talking from Loki. Like less of the really cheesy over the top jokes. Like
less Tom Hiddleston.
Yes. Stop it. You're funny. We get it.
Can I just say that I'm more excited to read all the crazy homoerotic fanfic that is coming out from these movies than actually watching them? Because I think they're going to be great.
I'm going to choose to not believe that exists. It'll hurt my feelings.
Is there any about Margot Robbie?
Oh, God.
I hope not.
She's going to be terrible.
She's going to be terrible. She's going to be so... Oh, God.
Her audition should just say the word pudding. If you say it wrong, you don't get it.
Well, if she says pudding, then there's definitely an issue. She's got to say pudding.
Yeah, exactly. There's no J in it. It stops it in.
See, I'm more worried about what's his face is Lex Luthor.
Really?
Yeah, he looks like a little punk kid. Luthor should be, the same age as Superman.
Who's playing him again?
Jesse Eisenberg, the one who was Mark Zuckerberg, and
yeah,
he's not Luthor. Like,
he just looks like a freaking Cheeto face. Like he's not
Cheeto face.
He looks like a Cheeto. He really does.
All right, which shape?
I'm googling both those things right now.
Because I'm totally thinking of the bag of the mixed shapes right now. There's the X's and O's. There's the checkers.
The one that's kind of long and lumpy, that's the one that I'm thinking about.
Like the crunchy Cheetos, the normal ones?
Oh, wait, not even the mascot? You're talking about the food itself?
I'm talking about the food itself.
I need to see this.
Well, he should have just been cast as Cheeto Man.
He should. He would do a great job. He'd do a fine job.
I hope that at some point we can get Jesse Eisenberg to do an interview for Fanboys Anonymous. I'll be like, question sent in from Caroline. Why weren't you cast as Cheeto Face in Suicide
Because he'd be perfect for it.
A Batman villain.
Yeah. All of his gimmicks are about Cheetos. Oh man, I want some Cheetos now.
Walks around leaving powdery neon orange stuff.
My shit's orange! What the hell?
When Batman takes him down, he's like, why did you do it? And he's like, it's not easy being cheesy.
Man, this is really inconvenient. I wore white today. What the hell, man? It's so cool. I have orange stains all over me.
I think we figured out who's going to be the main villain in the Cyborg movie.
Oh, Cheeto. You're welcome. You're very welcome.
I totally forgot what I was going to say about Eisenberg, but I think that this ended up going in a much better way instead. All right, well, there's only two more things that I kind of wanted to bring up for different points that we can go back and forth about, because we don't want this podcast to go on for 4 hours. It's not
Cheetos and Eisenberg.
It's not Interstellar.
Fuck Nolan. Jesus. Hate that guy.
I still love you, Nolan. Um, if we talk more about the Marvel side of things, so we've got we talked a little bit about Black Panther. We ran down a lot of these movies and stuff, but the one thing that we really didn't give too much of a discussion about, which we DC brought it up, but they announced Infinity War is going to be split up, part 1 and part 2. Now Justice League is going to be split up, part 1 and part 2.
Copycats.
Yeah. I think they actually announced the Justice League part 1, part 2 beforehand, but I guarantee they didn't have plans for that more than fucking Marvel did. I am really weird about this. At first I was thinking Infinity War being split up is a good idea. Now I'm actually leaning more towards I wish that they would have given it a different title. Justice League Part 1 and Part 2, until they start building this universe, I don't like the idea that it's a Part 1 and Part 2 thing. To me, Justice League, they're going in a bad fucking direction anyway, so I don't know why I'm surprised, but if the rumors are true that they're going to do Brainiac in the first one and then Darkseid in the second one, I don't see why they need to be Part 1 and Part 2, because Infinity War Part 1 and Part 2, they're definitely going to have more connectivity. But how do you want Marvel to go on past Infinity War Part 2? Because that's the last one that they announced, and the last one that the DC announced was, I mean, we're going to have Justice League Part 2, and then it's going to be Cyborg and Green Lantern, so they're going to keep doing things, and assuming that they're going to do, you know, a Batman film, probably a sequel to Wonder Woman, sequel to Flash, sequel to Aquaman, 10 sequels to Cyborg. But DC is going to be doing this for a while. Marvel is not going to stop. So what do you think that they should do? How should Infinity War Part 2 end, and where should they go from there? Dace, you said that you think Ms. Marvel can end up being the head of the Avengers. How so? And where does this go into movie plans? Do you get more Ant-Man movies, more Guardians, another sequel to Black Panther? Does Thor pop up again, or is Ragnarok the end? Like,
I feel like with Carol and them, it'll be heading in the new Avengers direction, which is gonna be I don't know what the definition will be for new Avengers when it comes that time, because of course in the new Avengers it has like Wolverine and Spider-Man, and that's just not gonna happen. And friggin' Thing. So it's just Luke Cage and Miss Marvel. But I think we're going to get a new group of people to be invested in. I think we're going to get 2 more Black Panther movies, 2 Captain Marvel movies, maybe 2 Doctor Strange movies after this. They're gearing up for new characters to distance themselves from Chris Evans, Robert Downey Jr., Chris Hemsworth, to where they can maybe 10, 20 or 10, 15 years down the road reintroduce those characters played by different people.
That makes sense.
how would you do it, Caroline?
I feel like, I mean, my first instinct is to say it really depends on how these movies do box office wise and how much money the executives are going to make out of them and merchandise. But I think that Days is like bringing up a very important point, is that they have to keep in mind that if they want these characters to live on, they definitely they do need the audience to kind of, you know, especially because we have like someone like Robert Downey Jr. Like, he's really strong as Iron Man. Like, people like me that really didn't really read the comics and saw the movies, like, to me, he is Iron Man. So it's going to take a while for that image to go away so that another person can successfully take that part. So I think that Days is onto something. I think, like, I agree with what he said.
So the last thing I want to bring up is a total back and forth picking between these. Year by year, we're going to get a bunch of comic book films, and we're going to get some other offshoots too, like the Sandman movie is going to be coming out at some point. We've got the TV shows that we're worried about, you know, the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Agent Carter, Defenders, then you've got
Sony and Fox will be doing their things.
Yeah, they'll be the X-Men films, and God knows what they're going to be. Yeah, Deadpool's going to be coming out.
Yeah.
God knows what they're going to do with the Spider-Man series, because it seems like it's a terrible idea after terrible idea. And that's coming from somebody who really, really likes Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man, so I hope that works out. Fantastic Four looks stupid as shit, but we've got so many of these movies coming out, but the main ones that are going to be back and forth are going to be the Marvel and DC ones. The side shooters and everything, people are going to just be like, oh, cool, like there's another X-Men, like an X-Factor movie or something, and everybody will be like, what, then when's the next Marvel Cinematic Universe movie coming out or whatever? But we don't have any DC movies coming up in 2015 because they needed to push back Batman v Superman.
They got scared.
Yep. Somebody probably went in, read the script, and went, guys?
Put this around Valentine's Day so the guys can be like, hey, I'll take you to that sappy love story, but we got to go to see Batman.
So there's no comparison between the DC and Marvel ones for 2015. So Ant-Man, you get a pass.
You lucked out.
Yeah, you really fucking lucked out. Like, imagine how much money this movie would not make if they had like the Batman v Superman one around that time. But if we compare year by year, what's the one movie that you're the most excited about for each year? Now, 2016, we've got Civil War, Doctor Strange, Batman v Superman, and Suicide Squad.
It's not fair.
Oh, that's a tough one.
As much as I love Batman, and as much as I love Superman, I'm going with Civil War.
I think I got to go with that one too. That's the first Marvel comic event I ever read. And then from there, I remember buying the first collected edition because to me, Captain America vs. Iron Man is very intriguing. And I'm very interested to see how they play it out in the cinematic universe, especially Sans Spider-Man ?
Black Panther's filling that role. You know it.
Yeah, they already teased it a little bit. Sans Spider-Man ? Why's gotta be a black guy, huh?
There's there's some executive right now that's going, well, we had a Black Spider-Man, we've got Black Panther. Why don't we do Black Panther Man and just
put the man after it? Just be like,
right. That there's some jackass that doesn't read the comics that's doing that. And he's like, it'll appeal to the black people. It'll appeal to the spider people. It'll appeal to the panther people. Fucking
Walt
idiot.
Disney's head that's floating around in a little jar. That's what's coaching them. Get a black guy. Yeah, that sells today. Shut up, Walt. You're still racist.
Somehow I'm picturing J. Jonah Jameson saying that. He's chomping on the cigar.
Yeah, he would.
But Marvel will kick ass doing that. So you're going with Civil War days? Or are you going with Doctor Strange, Batman v Superman, or Suicide Squad?
Suicide Squad had a lot of potential because I liked what they did with the cartoon, and then they started having their casting rumors. So Civil War all the way.
What about you, Caroline?
Just because I like being different, I would either go with Batman v Superman or Suicide Squad, just because I want to hate on them.
Poor Doctor Strange. He doesn't even get the credit for being hated on.
I'm interested in seeing it. It's probably number 2 on this list.
Definitely number 4 for me. I'd go Civil War, just barely beating out Batman v Superman, then Suicide Squad. Doctor Strange is like, meh. Even the Dreamboat Benedict Cumberbatch can't make me interested in that. He's so weird looking. 2017, we got a big batch of movies here. A Cumberbatch of movies. I had to. Guardians of the Galaxy 2, Thor Ragnarok, and Black Panther on the Marvel side. Wonder Woman and Justice League on the DC side. Damn, that's a tough one for me.
I think I had a mortgage that year.
Yeah, holy shit. You're pointing out right there, I'm going to spend at least $60 on movies that year.
And isn't like Godzilla 2 coming out that year? And
Apocalypse
will be that year. Oh, God.
When's Deadpool coming out? 2015 or 2016?
2016. 2016 will be Deadpool. Fuck everything else.
I don't know out of this 5. I don't know what I would end up going for number one. Probably Justice League, and that's saying a lot because all the ones sound good to me, except for Wonder Woman, just because I've never been big on like I don't watch the movies like 300
Mhm.
or Alexander or Troy. None of that kind of stuff makes it's not interesting to me. So if Wonder Woman was in the modern age kind of more and not speaking like that, whatever, I'd probably like the character a lot more. But
I feel like that's what is like I would see Wonder Woman, and I think that I like the fact that it's on World War II. I feel like it wouldn't. I don't know if it's because I felt like the TV series was so bad, so bad that I feel like if they did it in modern times, it would probably be that bad. I kind of like it. It's retro. She has that pinup look. I think it's gonna work.
is that your number one out of these?
I think so.
What are you going with these?
It's tough. Um, I'm really intrigued to see where they go with Guardians of the Galaxy 2. But
Electric
Thor,
Boogaloo?
yeah. Uh, if they go after Peter Quill's dad, I'm probably not going to be as interested as Thor. So I'm going to go with Thor because of rumors and peer pressure.
I'm gonna say the sleeper hit's gonna be Black Panther though. I think people are gonna underrate that movie, and then when it comes out, it's gonna be really good.
Oh, I'm excited for it. I've always liked T'Challa. I mean, they're going to have a gap since he can't marry Storm, but at the same time, Thor, you've already done your groundwork with Thor.
We got 2018. This is gonna be an easy one for me. Avengers: Infinity War Part One, Captain Marvel, Inhumans, and then on the opposite side, The Flash and Aquaman. I think that you're going with The Flash, aren't you, Caroline?
Yeah.
You're hoping that he actually flashes people in the movie.
Yes. Oh, I don't even care what it's about. I mean, I know what the Flash is about, don't get me wrong, but I just want to see Ezra in all his glory, wearing really tight red um outfit on. That's all I care about.
I get to see Margot Robbie in a really tight red outfit before you
Well, good for you.
do. Have you seen the Flash
I
TV
have
show?
I have my fanfic, so I'm okay. Yeah, I saw the TV show. Yeah,
Are you a
I
fan
used
of
to.
that?
I don't know, like when it was on. Not the new one. I'm talking about the very old one. I
I was
like the
talking about the
very
new one.
old one. Yeah, that the original one I was really into. Like I loved the Trickster. He was like my fave back then for a while, but not the new one. It's on CW, right?
Yep.
See.
Yeah, I didn't really watch CW.
W. Technically, I don't either because everything's quote legally downloaded. uh, fuck commercials. Days, are you going with Captain Marvel or are you going with a different movie?
It's really tough because, like, you put an Avengers movie in that year.
Mhm.
It's clear, like, God, they gave us a 2-second teaser on TV, and I still watch it a million times now.
You're
Putting
starting to watch
Avengers,
Pinocchio just because you want to hear that
yeah,
song again.
walking through work singing that song in a high-pitched voice, which people do not please. Like, it does not please them.
What are you talking about? You have the voice of an angelic little girl.
Thank you. I try so hard. Not really.
Or
I need to-
Ultron. One or the other.
I need to hit puberty. It's putting Avengers aside. Captain Marvel is the one I'm really, really excited for.
That's cheating.
Yeah.
You can't put Avengers aside.
I totally just did. Deal with it.
So I didn't sell you on the idea of the Inhumans movie with Keanu Reeves saying, "Whoa."
The worst thing, if the only way that can get worse if it's Nick Cage
Oh,
And
Oh
Jesus
my
God.
god.
and his facial expressions for Black Bolt.
Oh my God. I want to see that even more now.
Yeah, I think that would be really cool.
Wide eyes and not opening his mouth.
All right, let's combine our efforts. Keanu Reeves is Black Bolt. Nicolas Cage is Captain Marvel.
Oh! I'll watch the Avengers that year.
And he flashes people in the movie. There you go.
Woo!
He wears that skimpy ass outfit she wore in the 90s where it like goes up her butt.
Nicolas Cage can pull it off.
I hate Nicolas Cage.
2019 is the last one where we have competition between them because it's only Avengers Infinity War Part 2, and unless they're going to do some other movies. Which they
Howard
haven't
the
announced
Duck.
yet. Yeah, that Howard the Duck spinoff. Or Shazam or Justice League Part 2. So both of the Part 2s going face to face, and Shazam being stuck in the middle somewhere. Uh, I'm going to Infinity War Part 2. I want to see Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet more than I want to see whatever the fuck they're going to end up planning with Justice League. And
Shazam!
Shazam I was never really that big on, and it reminds me of Kazam. So
If it was Kazam, that would win.
Shaq is Black Adam.
Oh god, that'd be great.
That's how they. Oh my god, that's how they can incorporate Steel.
See? You're genius.
We've done more work planning this fucking film franchise out than DC has.
All they got are titles, man. We've got ideas.
Yeah, we're bringing Shaq into this shit. You're bringing Cyborg. Come on.
Dude, in the entire movie, he plugs that stupid Shaq drink he has.
Yeah.
Big ass can with his face on it. Man, I'm feeling dehydrated. Look.
But a can of Shaq Fu
Oh,
on Dark Side. I would much rather see Shaq in Steel than a Cyborg movie. No. Alright, that's where I cut the line about that. Cyborg's better than that.
Shaq should play Jon Stewart.
So I'm going Infinity War Part 2. Caroline, out of these, Justice League Part 2, Infinity War Part 2, and Shazam Part 1.
I think Infinity Wars, just because I don't know what the hell they're gonna do with Justice League and Shazam. Like, I know that Shaq is not gonna be in it, so like, what bother? I won't watch it.
Your friends in 2019 are gonna be like, so we want to go see these DC movies. Do you want to go? And you'll be like, I don't know. Shaq's not gonna be in it.
Obviously.
They're gonna be like, you waited 5 years for this joke. So you're going Infinity War?
Yeah.
What about you, Dace?
Well, I just assume DC and Warner Brothers will be bankrupt by Wonder Woman, so Infinity Wars.
Oh my god.
Is that because of Wonder Woman or because of Suicide Squad and Batman v Superman?
No, I think that they're going to barely break even with the first two. Wonder Woman's going to be like released to the theaters, and then they're going to start shooting Justice League Part 1 and be like, we're out of money. Nobody liked it enough.
Like we spent too much money on flashbacks. We don't know. We can't even add some of the characters in here. We had to get rid of the VS and Batman v
Yeah.
Superman. Now we're Just League.
It's got to be terrible, guys. It's going to be a horrible run for DC.
We got bankrupt when we signed that contract with Shaq.
They're going to be like, fuck, why didn't we just hire Joel Schumacher back? At least we would have got nipples on our costumes.
And Ezra Miller's like, I don't need any of mine.
No, he does not. He doesn't even need a costume. He can just be there.
Body paint him red.
I'm pretty sure that would be uncomfortable
Yeah.
for the Flash to just run around like completely naked.
Get like windburn on your
fat.
penis.
Yeah, he needs to air it out, air out his balls.
Dude, he could like teabag so many people within like
Super
seconds.
fast.
All of
Just
Keith
slow
David-
motion him dipping his balls in people's faces. That'd be great.
It'd be great seeing Batman's just like, Barry, the fuck, man.
Does anybody else taste that? Barry!
Or Wally. They haven't even said which Flash it's going to be.
He should be Wally.
He should be Wally to separate him from Barry from the
Exactly.
TV show.
And then you can bring in Barry if you needed to save the franchise. Because by then that should be a successful show. Because for whatever reason, their TV division know what they're doing.
Well, at least Arrow does. I'm not
Yeah.
too big on the Flash TV show.
I'm going to
So-
give him some time.
Shit ton better than Gotham, though.
Yeah.
And
well,
Gotham's better than Constantine.
didn't even try Constantine.
Yeah,
Don't.
that's so sad.
Don't. Constantine, don't. The best part of Constantine was the one female lead. I can't think of the character's name. Like, I can't even.
Call her
Oh,
Jenny.
Sure, Jenny. She picks up Dr. Fate's helmet, and she's kind of like, "The hell's this?" And it's like, doesn't matter. And I'm like, "Hey, Dr. Fate." Not a big fan of Dr. Fate, but that's kind of cool. God, this show sucks. Bring on Dr. Fate. Like, put Cyborg on here. It'd be much better. So that kind of knocks out everything that I had listed. We don't really need to talk about potentials of Ant-Man sequels. We don't need to really run down casting decisions and stuff like that. We don't need to get into every little detail about every little movie. But generally speaking, it seems like we are excited about what Marvel's got going on, and we're very anxious about DC at the very least. Like, the most credit that we're giving to DC is like, man, I really like Batman, don't fuck it up. And Marvel's like, sure, you got a tree, you got a fucking rock, just do it, it's gonna be great. Any thoughts for anything else you guys want to bring up that we can talk about before we round this all out?
Fuck Chris Nolan.
I still give you a thumbs up, Chris.
I don't. You got way too much freedom, man. Reel it back.
Yeah, but what if the Captain Planet theory is right about Interstellar?
Bravo, you take all my money. But knowing him, it wasn't what he was planning.
It'd be great if there's like, I was saying in the theater at the end that it should just be some credit cookie at the end where the top falls or something. So, any other topics, Caroline?
Ezra Miller. That's all.
I gotta watch something that he's done. I gotta figure out what's
We
going on
need
with
to talk
Kevin.
about Kevin. It's good. It's really good.
I will watch it if Kevin is Kevin McAllister. And they gotta talk about how they left him at home.
Oh God.
And that somebody gets me a pizza, because every time I watch those movies, I need to eat pizza. And macaroni and cheese. Damn it, I want to watch Home Alone. So I think that's a good place to stop when we bring up Home Alone in the middle of a DC and Marvel. So let's go around one more time, talk about some plugs, promote anything you guys got going on right now. Dace.
Hi! Follow me on Twitter at the Daceman. Check out the Daceman Show Wednesday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern on megapowersradio.com. Check out everything that's going on at fanboysnonus.com. And yeah.
Stay tuned for channel surfings of those TV shows.
Yes. I almost ended. I pretty much did the channel surfing ending. Almost went into. And for the few, for the proud and the daystacular, keep on channel surfing.
I got to do a couple channel surfings with you eventually. Because I got
Please.
opinions about these shows and I need to get them out. And I'm too busy to do articles.
I have way too many to do. I watch too much shit.
Caroline, hit us with your plugs.
Well, I just want everybody to check out everything going on at Fanboys Anonymous. Lots of cool stuff there. Yeah. I don't have a lot going on right now. I'm still in my health recovery month, so check Fanboys.
Check out Ezra Miller.
And oh, yay. He's all mine, bitches. You can have them.
You can have Cheeto face, right?
Yeah, you can have Cheeto face. Cheeto face is all yours. And Ezra is mine. And Danny DeVito as Penguin is mine. Everybody else gets whatever.
It's a hell of a, scale. Ezra Miller to Danny DeVito eating fish heads.
You gotta diversify. You gotta keep your options open.
We are never getting interviews with DC. Like, you talked so much shit about Cyborg. You're calling our Lex Luthor Cheetah face.
You called us slave owners at one point.
You think you're gonna fail by Wonder Woman?
Oh God, I sound like an asshole.
We all sound like terrible people.
Yeah, we really sound like really bad people.
But hopefully they prove us wrong, and this ends up being a situation where they make up for all the mistakes that they had in Man of Steel. Batman v Superman kicks ass. Suicide Squad comes around, and we got everything that we wanted for that movie and all the other ones, because we've got, if you include the last movie in Phase 2 of Marvel's plans with Age of Ultron, we got 21 of these movies for the next 5 years.
A lot of review points, people. You guys are lucky.
That's a lot of money that I'll be spending at the movie theaters, because I will be seeing every one of these in the theater instead of just downloading stuff. But nobody does that. You can't do that, right? Yeah, it doesn't happen.
No.
Well, let's
Oh.
see how Batman v Superman does, and then I'll talk about downloading.
I'll see fucking Ant-Man in the theater. I'll see Keanu Reeves in Humans. I'll see everything. But something else that I want to see are the comments from you guys below. Tell us what you think about all these movies. Who's going to be the victorious side? Is it going to be Marvel or is it going to be DC? Is Disney going to buy out DC when they go bankrupt by Wonder Woman?
For $1.
Aw.
Or when they go
Always
bankrupt?
blaming the women, right? Just
I'd buy
blaming
that
the
for $1.
Now there's RoboCop in here. Yeah, there you go. There's the other villain for Cyborg. RoboCop.
And Michael Keaton.
There's your Batman connection. This is gonna be a terrible movie where it's just Cyborg versus RoboCop, Michael Keaton Batman, and Shaq.
DC, hire us now.
And
We'll
Cheeto Face.
work cheap. Obviously, you like cheap labor from New Jersey. We'll do
Oh my
it.
god.
Before this gets any worse, I think it's time that this meeting is adjourned. Thank you to everybody on the panel. Thank you to everybody who listened. On behalf of all of the fanboys and fangirls, I'm Tony Mango. We will see you next time, everybody. Geeks out.